Bad pass defense usually leads to interesting and exciting bowl games, and thus we probably have a home run derby at Yankee Stadium when Northwestern takes on a Pitt. Also, this game, a very young bowl game, has a nice little track record of giving us interesting and exciting games down to the wire. The last two games against the Big Ten and the ACC, Penn State over Boston College 2 years ago in overtime. Overtime last year, Indiana misses a field goal, or maybe they didn't miss a field goal, but Duke won it over IU 44-41. All right, we're talking bad pass defense. Northwestern last statistically in the Big Ten, giving up 265 yards through the air. Does Northwestern have the worst pass defense in the Big Ten? No. Those are stats. Is their pass defense good? No. But it's better than the likes of Illinois and other teams, Rutgers and Maryland, in the Big Ten. 265 yards per game, but that pales in comparison to the Panthers' pass defense. 343 yards giving up per game. They have faced the likes of Clemson and within their division, Miami and North Carolina, two very good passing offenses. Oklahoma State and Penn State, we've seen Trace McSorley in recent weeks tear it up. But Pitt, 127th out of 128 FBS teams in pass defense, 343 yards per game. Can Northwestern take advantage of that? The 2015 edition? No. Clayton Thorson, as a freshman, the ball was taken out of his hands. He was a game manager. It was all up to 1,300-yard rusher Justin Jackson, the special teams and the defense for Northwestern as they build a 10-3 season. Well, this year, Northwestern's only 6-6, but Clayton Thorson has a lot to do with those 6 victories. 58% passer, 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and Clayton Thorson has found Austin Carr for 84 receptions, 1,200 yards, and 12 scores. So Northwestern has the capability to hurt Pitt's porous pass defense. They don't have enough playmakers, though, that if Pitt focuses on Austin Carr, that should be enough to limit the Northwestern passing game, because it's been all Austin Carr for the most part. On the ground, we mentioned Justin Jackson, one of the fine running backs in the Big Ten over the last 3 seasons, unheralded because of a bit of lack of success out of Northwestern, specifically this year. But again, a 1,300-yard rusher for the Big Ten's Northwestern Wildcats. So does Northwestern have a chance of stopping Pitt? This has suddenly become a prolific Pitt offense with Nathan Peterman at quarterback. They still enjoy running the ball first and foremost, and James Conner has had a great comeback season from cancer. Just to make it back onto the field is miraculous. Beyond that, 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns for the former ACC Offensive Player of the Year. For Northwestern, look out for these guys. Godwin Igwebuike, for the last few years, has been their leader in the secondary. He had over 100 tackles. Linebacker Anthony Walker, 98 stops, and defensive lineman Ifeadi Onigbo had 10 sacks for the Wildcats, and they will desperately need pressure in the backfield to stop this Pitt offense that scored 76 against Syracuse, and you may discard that result. But how about 42 against Penn State and 43 against Clemson? Of course, the Pitt Panthers, the only team in college football to defeat 2 Power 5 conference champions, one in the playoff and one could have been in the playoff. All right, Juan Price, probably his last game for Pitt, coming off the edge. One of the great playmakers in college football, will make life difficult on Jackson and Thorson. Jordan Whitehead, one of the great secondaries in the ACC, one of the great safeties, I should say, in the ACC, out for this game for the Pitt Panthers. I see this one going down to the wire. Pitt's a substantial, decent favorite, I should say, at 5.5 points. Panthers win at 34-30, so take Northwestern plus the points. That should rise to 6. I've seen some lines at 6, but the Panthers will win the game outright as the Big Ten matches up with the ACC. Would like to hear from you on the Pitt Northwestern matchup. Should be a fun one at Yankee Stadium right here on Mark Rogers TV.